Hi, Math 2504, semester 2, 2022. We are well into week 2. This video will update you on big homework, just a few minor changes. It's also related to Dr. Amy Chan's perspective seminar on Tuesday, August 9th. So there we go. Let's search for big homework. Here it is. So we've just updated the big homework. I'll overview the few changes that we've had, and then I'll also speak about the details. So first of all, there's just the submission format was not fully finalized. Now it is, so you can read that, but I'll also speak about that in a few minutes. Also, the fourth submission form is now changed to up to question 17. And the reason is that there's also a bonus question, and that's question 17. It is optional, but very recommended to do because it yields you an additional 10 bonus points. So you cannot get more than 110 on this homework, but if you miss anything or anything doesn't work, then this question 17 will cover for it. Just a few minor changes that we've done, and I apologize for any delays or problems that this has caused. So one change is here in question 3B. There was actually not a question. Thank you to the student that pointed this out. So there is now a question, and the question is, can you replace this hailmax function with a single line function? It doesn't need to be efficient in terms of runtime and or memory usage, but it needs to be a one-line function. So that is that there. And then there is also an update to the GitHub repo hand-in. Most of you would have not gotten to this yet, but you will soon. So this is the full specification on how to do the hand-in. This was under construction previously, so that's question 10. And finally, well, almost finally, question 13. It now might seem longer, but we've actually made it easier. So we broke it up into 13A, 13B, and 13C. So in 13B and 13C, you're dealing with this function from RK to RK. This is actually called the softmax function. We're giving you the expression for the Jacobian of this function, and you are supposed to evaluate this Jacobian using repeated applications of either the forward difference scheme or the central difference scheme. Of course, you don't really need to do this in practice when you have an expression for the Jacobian, but you're doing it to evaluate the error. So that's this question. It should be easier than what it was before. I hope nobody got to that at this point. And finally, we've added question 17, which I forgot to do previously, and that is the question about the perspective seminar. So here you go to Amy Chan's lecture or follow it via Zoom or via a recording afterwards, and then you summarize in paragraph form what you've had and what you learned from her lecture, answering these questions in paragraph form. This will be for all 3 perspective seminars, and it'll always be tagged along the projects. So let me just speak about submission at this point. So I'll just read it word by word. So the assignment is in pairs. Make sure to have the names of both partners. And if there's a group of 3, we do not have at the moment, also put all 3. So everything apply to 3. Submission will be via Blackboard via only one of the teammates, but will count equally for both of the team. All cases that involve a group or a single person require explicit permission from the course coordinator. So by this, you should all have a partner at this point, and if somebody wants to do it either by themselves for some reason, which is not recommended, or in a group of 3, you need to write to me. The submission format, so you've got these 4 submission forms. So each of these submission forms, download them from the courses GitHub or obtain them in one of the ways which you already know from the courses GitHub, and you replace these cells with the specific answers. Sometimes a cell can grow to be multiple cells in your solution. Okay, so this is how it's supposed to be. Now, it is expected in each submission form that we can get the form, run the Jupyter Notebook, and everything will run. Okay, so if anything needs to be with using, you don't need to worry about installs. We'll do that doing package add, etc. But if you need to do usings or variables need to be defined, it should all work, and do not have clashes between the various questions when things run. This should generally be okay. Now, as you work on this, you might want some scratchpad space, and you could use at the bottom of each question, you have an area like this. That's an area as an experimental playground. Okay, so you've got these 4 submission forms, use them. It is recommended that when you work with your partner, you either do peer programming, really sitting together, there is some value in that, or divide up the work and then review each other's work and give each other tips and improve. If you do peer programming, then one person is probably touching the keyboard and the other is looking, or vice versa. It can be via a Zoom meeting, or it can be next to each other, or something else. If you are dividing up the work, then of course you can divide up the work and then join and review each other's work. It's of course recommended that everybody knows that both partners know everything in the assignment, because you will need that knowledge for the quiz as well. So the submission needs to include an audio recording, 30 seconds minimum, 3 minutes maximum, 1 minute recommended. Please don't speak for longer than 3 minutes there. The recording should have the voices of both or all members of the group. So, hi, I am Jack, and hi, I am Jill, and yada, yada, yada. The recording should verify that the work is your own. State there in your voice that you did not plagiarize, which I'm sure you won't. Of course, you did get some help from practicals and from peers via the discussion board or other means, but the work is your own. And you can also state how you felt in the assignment, what you liked, what you didn't like, what you thought was useful, what less. And then to submit, go to Blackboard, and then you upload this voice recording into Blackboard, and you just give us the URL for your GitHub repo. Your GitHub repo, you will invite, it's going to be a private repo. If you don't know what that means yet, you will soon. And you will invite the course user as a collaborator on that repo. Okay, and you also name the partners in Blackboard. So Blackboard is basically just for the voice recording and for the link to the GitHub repo. So that's it. Wishing you all good luck with big homework and with the rest of the semester. Enjoy. Bye-bye.